3.3 Mitosis. So at the end of the lesson, students should be able to describe the 4 stages of mitosis. So term diguna pun sama, stages. Tapi ingat, kalau stages of cell cycle ada 2, interphase dan juga M-phase. So untuk proses mitosis pun ada stages. Tapi stages dia ada 4. That includes prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. Itu kalau stages of mitosis. Second, students should be able to describe briefly the process of cytokinesis, which is the division of the cytoplasm in animal cell and plant cell. So these are the 2 learning outcomes for 3.3. So what is mitosis? So mitosis is a type of nuclear division. Ingat, mitosis adalah karyokinesis, which is the division of the nucleus, which produce 2 daughter cells, each having the same number of chromosomes and genetically identical daughter cell. Okay, so ada beberapa key points yang penting to describe mitosis. First, it will produce only 2 daughter cells. Second, the number of the chromosome in the daughter cell compared to the parent cell is also the same. Thirdly, bukan sahaja jumlah kromosom yang sama, tetapi the parent cell and the daughter cell are genetically identical. Ingat, genetically identical. Maksudnya dari segi gene composition sahaja sama. Tapi kalau kita compare between parent and daughter cell in terms of size, in terms of volume of cytoplasm, in terms of jumlah organelles, memang tidak akan sama. Okay, so parents dengan daughter only identical in terms of their genetic materials, in terms of their genes ataupun DNA. So itu yang pertama. Second, mitosis only occur in somatic cell. Okay, macam saya explain sebelum ni, somatic cells are any cells in our body that can undergo mitosis but cannot undergo meiosis. Itu adalah somatic cells. Third, the number of chromosome in daughter cell remain unchanged. So itu sama dengan poin yang pertama tadi lah, same number of chromosome as the parent cell. So kalau parent ada 2n equals to 4, so daughter cell pun 2n equals to 4 number of chromosomes. Okay, so there are 4 stages of mitosis: prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. So term dia pun stages. So hati-hati sikit. Okay, so what is sister chromatid? So sister chromatid is basically the 2 identical chromatids which are held together at the centromere. So dalam gambar ni kita nampak ada 2 set of chromatids. So ni yang pertama, ini yang kedua. So number 1 and number 2. Okay, so yang pertama dengan nombor 2 are sister chromatids. So sister means that they are genetically identical. Okay, so kenapa ada 2 dan kenapa identical? Because they have undergone S phase. So remember, during S phase, DNA will undergo replication. Replication maksudnya satu DNA akan jadi 2 DNA yang identical. Okay, so selepas synthesis completed, the 2 DNA will still be closely associated with each other. Okay, so kawasan di mana the 2 DNA ataupun the 2 sister chromatid closely associated is known as the centromere. So centromere bukannya structure tetapi adalah kawasan di mana the sister chromatids are closely associated with each other. Okay? So that is the difference between sister chromatid and a centromere. So centromere is only a region on each of the sister chromatid where they are most closely attached to each other by proteins. Okay, so ni adalah gambar sister chromatid of a chromosome under electron microscope. So kita nampak kat sini ada dua set of sister chromatid. So ni satu set. So this is another set. Dan sini adalah kawasan di mana the two set are most closely associated, yang kita panggil sebagai centromere. Okay, ingat kenapa ada dua sister chromatids is because of the S phase of interphase. So next important terminology is haploid and diploid. So these two terms refers to ploidy number. Okay, so a haploid organism or a haploid cell means that a cell that contains only one set of chromosome. Okay, so for diploid, it is a cell containing two sets of chromosomes. Kenapa dua set? Because one set is inherited from each parent. For example, human, the ploidy number is 2n equals to 46 chromosome. Means that each parent will gives the daughter half of its chromosome number, which is 23 chromosomes. So in the sperm, it will contain 23 chromosomes, while the egg also contain 23 chromosomes. When fertilization occur, the sperm fuse with the egg, sperm bercantum dengan egg, it will form zygote. So zygote yang ada 46. So kalau 46 means that it is a diploid, 2n ploidy number. So most adult organism is diploid, 2n. Most gametes is n, haploid cell. So there's a difference between haploid and diploid number of chromosome. Okay, next baru kita tengok the first stage of mitosis. So during prophase, chromatin, ingat chromatin adalah DNA fibers that is associated with histone. Okay, so DNA plus histones adalah chromatin. So sepanjang interphase, the genetic material is in the form of chromatin. During prophase, the chromatin will become more tightly coiled. So basically, what happens is the chromosome will start to condense, therefore it will appear shortened and thickened. So daripada bentuk chromatin yang thin and long, after berlaku prophase, it will become the butterfly structure that we usually associate with chromosome. So proses inilah yang kita panggil sebagai condensation, which happens during prophase of mitosis. So next, each chromosome will consist of two sister chromatids joined at the centromere. Prophase occurs after the S phase. So during the S phase, the DNA undergo replication, where one DNA will become two sets of DNA that is genetically identical. So you can assume that one set of DNA is one sister chromatid. So after the S phase, so each chromosome will consist of two sister chromatids. Okay, next, during prophase, the centriole will migrate to the opposite end or to the opposite pole of the cell. But this process is only for animal cell, because plant cell do not have centriole. So this is the centriole. So one set, so another set of centrioles. Okay, so each cell will have two sets of centriole. Okay, at the same time, kalau tengok gambar ni juga, bukan ada centriole saja, tetapi there are other short microtubules. So these short microtubules yang kita panggil sebagai ester. So centriole are closely associated with short microtubule known as ester. The whole thing, ester plus microtubule, itu yang kita panggil sebagai centrosome. So during prophase, the centriole, or technically the whole centrosome, will start to migrate, will start to move to the opposite end of the cell. So hujung yang bertentangan di dalam sel tersebut. So hujung bertentangan tersebut sometimes kita panggil sebagai kutub, pole. Okay. At the same time, as the centrosome or as the centriole move to the opposite pole, spindle fibers will start to lengthen. Okay, so kita nampak ini yang dipanggil sebagai spindle fiber yang datang from each of the centrosome. Next, nucleolus will disappear and then nuclear envelope will start to disintegrate. So nuclear envelope akan start to break down ataupun disappear. Nucleolus pun sama, nucleolus pun will start to disappear. Kenapa nucleolus will start to disappear? Because previously mentioned, during prophase, the chromatin will condense and shorten to become chromosome. Nucleolus is basically a dark region of the chromatin. So bila chromatin sudah bertukar menjadi chromosome, maksudnya nucleolus pun akan disappear. Okay, next, metaphase. So during metaphase, the spindle fibers are fully developed. Maksudnya spindle fiber tadi, kalau semasa prophase tadi baru nak terbentuk, sekarang dia sudah fully developed. Okay, maksudnya it has fully extended across the cytoplasm and then attach itself to the centromere of each of the chromosome. Okay, so nampak tak dalam diagram ni, setiap satu kromosom punya centromere akan ada spindle fiber attached to the centromere. Okay, dan spindle fiber itu datang daripada centrosome yang berada dekat kutub yang bertentangan. So at this point, the centrosome are now at the opposite end of the cell. So because of the spindle fiber fully developed dan attached to the centromere of the chromosome, that's why chromosome tersebut will start to align at the metaphase plate. So metaphase plate ni basically untuk describe a region in a cell where the chromosome will align in the middle of the cell. So dia bukannya satu structure, tetapi it's just a region in a cell, basically in the middle of the cell, where the chromosome will align itself because of the spindle fiber attached to the centromere of each of the chromosome. Okay, so another point that we can see during metaphase is that individual chromosome yang akan align along the middle of the cell. So ni yang saya explain tadi, during metaphase, chromosome arrange at the metaphase plate ataupun equator of the cell, and then at the same time chromosome are attached to spindle fiber at their centromere, and then spindle fiber to came from centrosome from each of the pole. Okay, and then centriole at opposite pole of the cell. Next, anaphase. So during anaphase, basically what happens is the centromere will split. Kenapa the centromere split? It split because of the spindle fiber that attached to the centromere has start to shorten. Okay, so bila spindle fiber tu memendek dan spindle fiber tu attach dekat centromere, basically spindle fiber tu akan menarik centromere. Oleh kerana spindle fiber tu datang daripada opposite pole, so each of the sister chromatid akan ditarik ke opposite pole dan menyebabkan centromere dia terpisah. That's why the next point, separate the sister chromatid. So each sister chromatid is separated and moved to the opposite pole. So at this point, the sister chromatid can be known as individual chromosome. Okay, selagi sister chromatids attached at the same centromere, maksudnya dia masih melekat dekat centromere, sister chromatid tersebut hanya boleh dipanggil sebagai sister chromatids. Tetapi semasa anaphase, apabila centromere sudah split dan each of the sister chromatid sudah bergerak ke opposite pole, sekarang at this point, individual sister chromatid boleh dipanggil sebagai daughter chromosomes ataupun chromosomes. Okay, the important thing that you have to take note during anaphase, this is where the number of chromosome will double. Katakan parent cell tadi 2n equals to 4. During anaphase sekarang, the number of chromosome will start to double. It will become 2n equals to 8. Kenapa jadi 8? Sebab centromere sudah split dan setiap sister chromatid sudah become individual chromosome. Okay, sebelum anaphase, the cell will have 4 chromosomes, tetapi setiap kromosom ada 2 sister chromatid. Tetapi apabila berlaku anaphase, the cell will have 8 chromosomes sebab setiap sister chromatid sudah terpisah dan menjadi individual chromosomes. So the final stage of mitosis is telophase. So during telophase, what happens is the chromosome will reach to the opposite pole of the cell. The chromosome previously known as chromatids, but at this point, you shouldn't call it chromatids. It is an individual chromosomes. Okay, so this is the first thing. The second thing is a nuclear envelope will form around each groups of the chromosomes. Maksudnya, semasa telophase, nuclear envelope akan terbentuk semula. Tadi semasa prophase, nuclear envelope itu disintegrate, disappear. Semasa telophase, nuclear envelope akan terbentuk semula. Next, during telophase, the chromosome akan starts to uncoil and lengthen and become invisible again, yang kita panggil sebagai chromatin. Okay, so this is basically by the end of the telophase, baru chromosome tu akan become invisible, yang kita panggil sebagai chromatin. Okay, so during telophase, sepanjang early telophase still known as chromosome sebab still dalam bentuk condensed, tebal dan short, pendek. At the same time, during telophase, the spindle fiber disintegrate. So maksudnya dekat centrosome tak ada lagi spindle fiber yang panjang, and then nucleolus will start to reform. Ingat, nucleolus adalah condensed region of the chromatin. So previously kita mention that the chromosome will start to uncoil and lengthen and become chromatin and disappear. So bila chromatin ada, nucleolus pun ada. Semasa prophase tadi, chromatin akan condense menjadi chromosome. That's why nucleolus pun disappear. Sebab chromatin sudah disappear dan become chromosome. Next, division of one nucleus into two genetically identical nuclei is now complete. So by the end of the telophase, sekarang parent cell tadi akan mengandungi dua set of nucleus yang mengandungi two genetically identical sets of chromosome. Okay, so selepas habis telophase, maksudnya the mitosis or karyokinesis has completed, but then the cell division has not yet completed sebab masih ada lagi proses cytokinesis. So the first thing, we will look the process of cytokinesis in animal cell. Sebab process of cytokinesis or division of the cytoplasm in animal cell and plant cell are not the same. For the animal cell, it occurs immediately after mitosis, in which cleavage furrow starts to appear. So basically, cytokinesis in animal cell involve formation of structure known as cleavage furrow. So this is the cleavage furrow. So cleavage furrow basically a grooves that form in the middle of the cell, in the same region where the metaphase plate previously located. So kenapa cleavage furrow ni terbentuk is because the cell membrane or the plasma membrane is pulled inwards, ditarik ke dalam by a protein known as cytoskeleton. These shallow grooves is formed. Okay, so the cleavage furrow is a shallow grooves in the cell surface near the old metaphase plate. So the cleavage furrow is basically a shallow grooves in the cell surface near the place where the metaphase plate previously located. Next, cytokinesis in plant cell. Unlike in animal cell, it does not involve formation of cleavage furrow, but it involves a formation of the structure known as cell wall. Okay, since plant cell has cell wall, so untuk divide the cell into two separate cells, it have to involve formation of cell wall. So during telophase, so what happened is vesicle that came from the Golgi apparatus will start to move along the microtubule to the middle of the cell, okay, in the same region where the metaphase plate previously located. So as the vesicle enlarge and fuse, it will form a structure called cell plate. So ni adalah cell plate yang terbentuk apabila vesicle yang datang daripada Golgi apparatus. So vesicle tersebut mengandungi components of cell wall, cellulose cell wall. So bila vesicle tu fuse, bercantum, basically dia akan start to form cell wall. At this point, cell wall yang masih belum lengkap tersebut kita panggil sebagai cell plate. So bila cell plate tu sudah lengkap, barulah dia akan jadi cell wall dan akan completely separate the cytoplasm of the parent cell untuk form two separate daughter cell, dan setiap daughter cell tersebut akan ada daughter nucleus.